Hey everybody, Arnoldo Wolfman here of Gear It First, and I am betting there's a delay on the video, and if so, I apologize. Not sure what's going on there, but it'll be fixed hopefully by tonight. So I wanted to do an impromptu live stream because I've been getting hit since I've been doing the giveaways. I've been getting hit with the, well, how are you live streaming? How are, you doing this? How are you doing that? So I really wanted to kind of answer that and kind of give you guys a walkthrough. Now, the area that I'm at, it's a new office for me, so I don't have right now exactly in the best of shape, but I have pretty much everything back the way that I'm supposed to have it. So I kind of want to walk you through a little bit of everything, and hopefully that helps. As I'm looking at the chat and stuff, I'll try to answer those questions as well. And if you have any questions or if the stream's looking kind of wonky, let me know. I'm uploading beautifully, as you're about to see. YouTube is saying, no, you're not, but it is. I don't understand what's going on with YouTube. But it seems to be kind of weird since it's probably the middle of the afternoon. So I'm going to show you some of the hardware. I'm going to show you some of the software, and we'll kind of go from there. The most important part, first of all, is the program that I use to mainly broadcast from, and that is a program called OBS. I use OBS Studio. There is a Mac version and a PC version, but the best part of it is that it is free. Let's go ahead and get you through here. Here we go. This is the primary OBS screen. As you can see here on my left-hand side, I've got my scenes. These are different things. So here's like my pre-roll, and I can have videos ready to go. I can make stuff appear, disappear, etc. There's my loading screen. I'll show you right now if I click that. So it's pretty instantaneous. It is not MIDI compatible, but it does have keyboard hot switches. And one of the cool things that you could do with the keyboard switches, there's like a little keyboard that has it's OLED, or they look like LED. Yeah, they are LED buttons. I don't know if they're OLED or not, but you can basically have your individual names or your scenes, whatever you call them, so you can just push and use them. For me, it's just easier for me to use my keyboard and click whatever I need to. But yeah, that's basically OBS, and on here is my mixer, which allows me to turn individual mics up and down. I'm using the AG06. We'll cover that up in a little bit as well. If I click on the mixer, I can even add a sync offset. Right now, I have it set by 500 milliseconds, and that's usually how bad it is if I'm using the webcam. Right now, I use a program called Zoom. We'll cover that as well. And sometimes when I'm feeding from one program to the other program to OBS, there is a delay. In this case, right now, there really isn't. So far, that's looking pretty good, it seems. But I can add a sync offset if I need to. So you've got your, where you start streaming, you stop, and all that goes directly into YouTube, which I'm not really going to show that because if you're watching this, you should know how to live stream. If you want a one-on-one video, we can definitely cover that later on. On the settings, in case you guys do use OBS, the very most important thing I recommend is, first of all, doing a bandwidth test. Do not go to speedtest.com or anything like that. All that does is basically their flash-based test, but what they do is they just give you a very temporary reading. What you want to do is you want to go to testmy.net. So testmy.net. And that's going to do a much more thorough stress test on your bandwidth. Find out what that is. And I like to run mine about 20%, maybe even sometimes less. So I have a 25 megabit connection. And basically I just tell people, look, the big difference between megabit and megabyte. The 10% rule seems to work pretty well for a lot of people. So if it says that, you're uploading at 25 megabits a second, I set my bit rate at 2500. And that's been the magic number where we stopped having problems. Rate control, you always use CBR. That means constant bit rate, not variable bit rate. Keyframe interval, I've tried multiple ones. The best one has been 2. CPU usage, the higher the CPU, the less it uses, but the crappier your stream will look. So in that case, I have mine on medium since I usually run a lot of other stuff at the same time. But if you're keeping it simple, run it at the very slow, and you're going to have a very high quality stream, and it's going to drink up most of your CPU. Right now, I have 3 monitors going. I have YouTube, so I can see the chats and comments. And again, guys, keep that chat going for sure so I can answer any questions. So I've got quite a bit going on there, and it's only a 27 to 30% CPU. You can see there. Now, on the bottom part, there's the X264 encoder. If this is on a Mac, you want to do OpenCL equals true. I don't think this applies for Windows. OpenCL basically is, how can I explain this in very layman's terms? It allows you to use your GPU for processing. So in this case, it's gonna the whole CUDA course thing that people talk about, right? So basically, what it's doing is it's basically taking my NVIDIA GPU that I have and helping with some of the processing. It takes a huge load off my CPU. I mean, about 10% difference. So that was really nice. And the rest of it, I mean, you fill out to, the best of what you'd like. I do have my base canvas at 720. I output at 720. Just seems to work better for me that way. You can also see here that there is, I mean, it's pretty advanced. You can even enable a push to talk, push to mute, and you can even do a delay. This is really good if you're going to be doing any kind of like where multiple people are going on, and let's say it's a thing where somebody's going to debate and you just want to be able to be like the mediator. This is a great way of doing that. So we're going to get out of there. You can also set your scene transitions, durations. If I get out of studio, me one window at a time. I'd much rather have studio mode so I can see what I'm currently in and what I'm going to roll into next. So hopefully that helps you guys out on that part. Now let's talk about the next part here, and that would be the broadcasting software, or I mean, the teleconferencing software. There's quite a few of them out there. You could use Skype, you could even use FaceTime. I use a program called Zoom, and big thanks to the Disc Jockey News for helping sponsor this. But the Zoom app is incredible. It allows, I mean, you could technically, I don't know how many people you can have. I have done like 10 people in there, and when you guys see where people jump in, jump out, if you watch the Disc Jockey News, that's what he uses. I can invite people in. If they're not able to be there, they can call in over the phone. A lot of times I don't even have them calling over the phone through there. I just capture the audio from, because I have a phone built into my computer because iOS rocks, or I'll use Google a lot of times. But with Zoom, you can do it over the phone. And of course, you can even share your iOS screen. So I'm already doing that right now, so I don't want to mess too much with it. But I can go into my iOS or into the iOS options, and I can AirPlay directly to Zoom, or it'll even grab the screen. In case you guys don't know, the latest versions of iOS, which is what I'm doing right now, will grab the footage directly from the computer as opposed to having to AirPlay it. So it's a beautiful thing. I'm going to switch to an external camera, and I'm just going to use my phone. You're about to see I'm just basically AirPlaying it just to show you some of the other stuff. So let's go ahead and switch over here, and you guys can see what's going on. Now, there is a significant delay, it seems. I don't know why. Hopefully, I can shut that off. So give me 1 second here, and I'm going to turn off my mirroring. I got to turn it back on. Also, for webcam, I do want to talk about that. Right now, I am using the Logitech C920. And if you guys go in the description, you can actually see a lot of what I'm using right now. I'm going to move my Zoom over just so you guys can see. So there's my Zoom screen. I'm going to click on Share Screen so I can share my screen if I need to. There's whiteboard so you can draw. I'm going to do my iPhone or iPad via the cable. All right, and we're going to share the screen. And let's see. Now I'm going to go into my Zoom view just so you guys can see how easy this is. All it's doing is capturing. So there's a sharing frame window. I'm just going to switch to that. And I'm going to open up Filmic. Oh, it seems it doesn't want to grab it there. Hold on. Much better. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and switch over. Now you guys can see that in action. We're going to switch over so you guys can see a little bit of my desk area. So first of all, let's start with the main system. I do have a 2012 MacBook Pro. I love the MacBook Pro, but the 2012, because I've got two SSDs in here. I've got a 1 terabyte 950, and I've got a 2 terabyte where the CD drive used to be, and I can give you guys links to those if you are interested. I'm using the Vogek laptop stand, and out of all the laptop stands that are out there, I've really enjoyed this one. It's very not fancy at all, and I've done reviews on it, but it's completely open on here, so it always keeps airflow going through. I've got this cool little fan from Brookstone too that it's been blowing air everywhere. I get more air out of that, out of the main fan. Here I'm also using, notice I don't have any lights in here right now. So for now I'm using these lights. These are 5500K, so they're pretty cool white. They are like 1100 lumens each light, and they are LED. So that is pretty damn cool, because then I don't have to worry about bringing as much light out here. But I am going to be hanging small, either Schedule 40, I'll probably just do truss, like F14 truss, so I can hang some of my studio lights here. So anyhow, so we have the MacBook. I don't have any USB ports that I'm using. I'm just currently going out into the Thunderbolt 2 dock, as well as an Anchor USB 3. But that's not really needed for live streaming. However, this is very important. That's the Logitech C920. There's a new one, the Brio, which is great. But if you don't have the money for that, get the C920. You will be super thrilled with it. My headphones that I am currently using, let me real quick kind of go over that. I have a couple different pairs. So I'm using the V-Modas because I have the boom mic, and I also have links to those down below. So make sure you guys check that out. And yeah, I can definitely see there's a lag there with the audio. But anyhow, great if I need to move around or anything like that. I am in the middle of, I'm buying a new boom for my mic, because I had a floor standing one that I didn't like. Then I had a tabletop one, which I felt like I was leaning like this to talk. But I'm buying one that will actually clip onto the desk and just move. It's a lot more expensive, but it'll be worth it. And that is for my Audio-Technica 2020 microphone. There is a USB version. Don't get the USB version, get the XLR version, because you'll want to use this with the Yamaha AG06. And I'm going to explain to you why now. So, this is the Yamaha AG06, and I have done multiple videos on this fella right here. Right now, my V-Moda is going into a TRSSS, because it's basically the headset jack, where it's got the three sleeve ring combination, and it splits it out into microphone and headphone. But the AG06 is a USB mixer. Now, this is really good if you're doing podcasting or even if you're playing music, because if I am DJing, I will go directly into here, and that way I can do my live streams. This will take care of all the audio processing versus streaming directly from my computer. But a lot of times, I'll actually use the same computer that I'm streaming on. I'll just hook this in, and I will tell Facebook to grab, or OBS even, just to grab the AG06 and not grab my Pioneer S9. I can plug multiple mics in. This mic here that I'm plugged into now is controlled with this one. So when this is plugged in, it shuts off this XLR. So I can even add effects. I can add compression, EQ. I can turn on a gate instead. On the effects tab, there's a program that goes with the AG06 where you can change all your settings. And I've done a full review on this. But the best part about this is that you have what's called input mix, channel dry, or the dry channel 1 and 2, and loopback. I always have it on loopback mode. Loopback mode allows me to play music, and you would be able to hear it. So I'm going to real quick do a demo of that, or actually even a video. Let's see. Hang on one second. So I'm going to go into my screen cap view for a moment. DMX has become so simple, right? You have software programs that'll do it, all the work for you. So you can easily see or hear the video. But what's really unique about this loopback is that right now I can hear myself, which means if I can hear myself, that audio is looping back. You should technically be hearing an echo, almost something like this to a point. But you're not hearing that, because even though there's latency in USB, with the Yamaha AG06, I can't hear it. You know, when I'm doing let's say a live stream with John or somebody else, they should technically be hearing themselves, but they're not. I'm telling you, the AG06 is the most incredible mixer that I've used. Mike, thank you very much for that information. He says that the video is lagging. I don't understand. It's so weird because, again, if you look right here, okay, the FPS is decent at 15 frames per second, and I'm uploading right now at 2500 to 3100. Zero drop frame. So as you can tell, it's YouTube. So I don't know what's going on. And it could also be because, again, I'm streaming from the camera, or the other camera, so there might have been a little bit of lag in there. But hopefully it is okay now. But yeah, so real quick, let's go over the tools one more time. You've got the Yamaha AG06. You have the Logitech C920. You'll definitely want OBS, and I would definitely recommend Zoom, especially if you want to capture stuff from your phone and all that. There are other programs that will allow you to do that. You can AirPlay to your computer using a program like Reflector. The problem is Reflector has been really unstable for me right now. I don't understand why. It just doesn't seem to want to work with the latest version of iOS. So I definitely do not recommend Reflector then at this point. But Zoom has been really good. If you want to use lapels, you could use, for example, the Audio-Technica System 10 Pro and use the battery mount. This is the camera mount. Camera mount, completely battery powered, and then I can just go from 1/8 inch directly into the Yamaha AG06. Now, if you would like to hear the difference in quality between this Boom Pro, which I think the Boom Pro sounds pretty decent, but the 2020 is just a beautiful sounding mic. And of course, Audio-Technica offers better microphones than this one, but for the price, for live streaming, this has been great. So I'm going to show you the difference. Check, check, 1, 2. There you go. You can definitely see, well, you can definitely hear the difference between the Boom Pro microphone and the 2020. Now, it does not have a pop filter, so every time I say pop, 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 Peter, Paul, Pecker, you can definitely hear that pop. So if I plug back into the Zoom mic, just so you can hear, and this is definitely a very directional microphone, because as I turn it around, check, 1, 2, hello, 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 hello. I'm still, so you can definitely tell that doesn't sound right at all. Hello, 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 and we are back. Let's go all the way around. Check, check, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and we are back in business. And if I plug the Boom Pro back in, and it sounds like that. So those lower notes are definitely not there, but it's not a bad sounding microphone, but it definitely is no Audio-Technica 2020. So hopefully, guys, that helps you out. If you have any questions or anything like that, leave them below. Remember, 9 o'clock tonight, make sure you guys tune in for one of the last live streams. We have 2 left. It's going to be great. And also, gearitfirst.com. Go bookmark it. Love the website. Lots of great info. I'm not saying that I love the website. I mean, I do because I made it, but I know you're going to love the website. You should love the website. Share with all your friends, so forth. So hopefully that covers everything. Let me make sure that I did not forget anything. Again, we've got links below to the Logitech C920, the Yamaha AG06, the Audio-Technica 2020, the V-Moda M100s, the V-Moda Boom Pros, the Vogec laptop stand. Oh, and last thing, how could I almost forget? Excuse me 1 second. Here, I'll actually just move this camera. You'll see my dual no, I guess I can't. Hang on. Let's see. Zoom, 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 zoom. View. Let's see. Actually, no, I already shut off my zoom, but I'll just do it here. So I have a dual monitor system, as you can see there. And the way that I'm doing that is with the Vivo stand right here. It's actually pretty cool. It's only 30 bucks and it's sturdy as hell. I actually moved the desk without detaching the monitors. This allows me to pretty much set it in whatever way I want, and I can also rotate the monitors. So if I'm doing, like, for example, graphic editing or video editing, a lot of times I may want my tools, because, you know, the tools on Adobe are usually going straight up and down. They are vertical. So I will turn my monitor vertically, and then I'll have it in my Mac preferences to change it. So yeah, all those links are down below. And again, hopefully that helps you guys out understanding how I do the live streaming. If you are live streaming, again, you're DJing, you'll want to basically plug into the AG06 where the RCAs are. If you want to use the XLRs, those are microphone inputs, so you need to make sure you have your pad on. And then let me show you real quick some of the settings that I use on my AG06. So hang on 1 second. We're going to switch over here. Here's the program AG06. Why is it not? Oh, it's not going to pop up because, hang on. AG06, there we go. All right, and then I'll have a couple of questions that are coming in, so I'll make sure to answer those. So guys, make sure you submit your questions right away. Okay, so here's the Yamaha AG06 controller. I could actually use this live while I'm using the box or the mixer, or if you unplug the mixer, it'll save these settings in here. And what's really cool about the mixer is that on the back of it, you can plug it in to your, to like, let's say an iPhone cable or something, and then it's got a second USB port, iPhone cable, like one of the block chargers, so you can plug it into a wall and use that standalone. But it's got a second USB port so you can hook it up to an iPhone or an iPad. And I have used this sometimes when I'm streaming directly from my phone, and I still get that great sound quality, great capture quality, but I'm using my phone because this is iOS compatible, and it also works with Android too. But check out the DSP controller. I'm going to even turn on my effect over here just so you can see it working live. So there is a default one there. Actually, that's compressor, sorry. Let's see. Where's my effects? There we go. So I can change it over here to room, and you can see how it immediately changed pretty much in real time. I can go into stage and back into hall over here, but you can also change it however you need to. So there's my HPF cup, there's my initial delay, check 1 2. So you can really just create some crazy stuff using this. So there we go. Let's go back to default, and we are good to go. Same thing with the compression and EQ. So if I turn it on, there it is there, and I can change the attack ratio. I can change the gain just like that. Let's go ahead and turn that back off. But there's also some pre-made ones. So if I'm on a condenser microphone, there it is right there. I can go into a vocal male. I don't think vocal female is not going to do too well for me. But then I also have headset microphone. So a lot of times when I'm using my Boom Pro, I'll turn on that headset microphone. And I know that I can talk really loudly and really excited like this, and that it's not going to pop or it's not going to blow your ears out. So again, the AG06 is incredible in that sense. But what's really neat is that if you're, for example, wanting to stream music, if you're going to play, let's say guitar, you can plug a guitar into your second volume control, and then you also have your guitar amp simulator. So you can make your guitar. I've plugged violins into this, and you can have different effects. So you can turn on like that full amp, which is pretty damn cool. You also have your options for your guitar here. So you've got clean, crunch, distortion. You've got if you're going to do speech. So if you're plugging like a second microphone in, and you do have phantom power for microphone 1 2. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it on the AG06. Let's go ahead and take a couple of questions here. Peter says he has a brother named Paul, but the other one is not called Pecker. Well then, okay. And then we have, let's see, Blake asked, why do you use so many Audio-Technica mics instead of Shure or Sennheiser? I love the sound of Audio-Technica better. If you saw my live stream that I did a couple days ago, I didn't want to roll Shure under the bus because, again, Audio-Technica was there and we were all being professional. But the Shure mics, I don't like the PGXs. I've had more PGEs and PGXs fail on me than any other microphone I've ever had. Even the cheap Audio-Technicas have lasted me longer than the Shure ones. And the Shures that I had, the original wireless, would pop when you turn them on and off, and I hated that. The handling noise is horrible. Sennheiser, I don't like the sound. I find them to be very tinny. The lavaliers are just garbage. It's like you have to be right there to be able to actually pick up. Much better experience with Audio-Technica. I love the sound. More importantly, I love the weight of the microphones. I know that sounds crazy, but when you're, you guys are DJs too, right? You do public speaking. The weight of microphones is important. Like, you get a mic that it's like, man, this just feels right. And it just helps you feel good when you're speaking. Gives you that confidence that you've got a good mic. And I really like the 3000 because of that more than any of the other Audio-Technicas. The 3000 is my fave. But I started with the 2000. I've used a System 10 Pro. Owned a bunch of those. But yeah, I wholeheartedly support Audio-Technica. I think you guys would love them too if you don't currently use them. So hopefully that helps you guys out. That gives you a little bit of an insight of what I have. I mean, I'll kind of do a tour of my office once it's all done. But I have like not spare hard drives, but I have a bunch of external drives in here. I got to get my server set up and ready so we can store everything in the server. And then I have other stuff, like I've got some prototypes of other things I can share. I've got stuff that I'm working on, tutorials over here, more external hard drives. Business cards. I have another MacBook, iPad Pro, crap load of stuff. So yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you guys at 9 o'clock tonight with the Global Trust stream. Should be great. Guys, do me a favor, leave your comments, messages below. If you live stream as well, tell me what you use. I would love to hear about what you've used. If maybe you've used something that I've talked about, but you found something that you like a little bit better, leave all the information below. Or if you want to learn more about live streaming, if you'd like to maybe get a 101, I can definitely talk a little bit about that. And I'll be more than happy to answer that where I can. Blake asks, what about the ULX P4 out of 14 when they have a better sound than the PGX? PGX isn't good at all. I'm so glad I'm not the only one that thinks that way. I've not used the ULX series long enough, but I'm very brand loyal. So pretty much all my microphones are Audio-Technica, and I've not had an Audio-Technica that I don't like yet. So I pretty much jumped the bandwagon. I'm AT all the way. But again, guys, comments. Oh, and let's talk about XLRs for a second. Whirlwind, baby. I don't trust anybody else at this point. For audio cables, I love freaking Whirlwind. This cable has been abused. I've had this microphone just like fall out of the stand. That's what I'm on the stand right now. And it was just like, this thing obviously caught it, did not snap the cable. That Whirlwind cable is about 12 years old, because more than that, it was with the company when I first started working with the company. That was 12 years ago. So makes you wonder how old that microphone cable is, and the fact that it still works. David asks, do I use the Audio-Technica 3000 for all my events? Yes, not just the EJ events. If I go to Expo or anything like that, that 3000 goes with me. That is my rider mic. If I'm doing, like, for example, I do graduations. I've done the beauty pageants. In that case, I would use the System 10 Pro. Only because the System Pro offers some distinct advantages for those kind of events, like being able to have your antennas way on the other side of your setup. So that's really good. But for the most part, yeah, Audio-Technica 3000. And if you don't have one, buy one. And if you buy one, make sure it's under 600 megahertz because of that whole T-Mobile thing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the video on actually go to gearfirst.com and you're going to see the Audio-Technica live stream. Guys, thank you so much again for tuning in. Thank you for all the questions. Please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. Participation makes YouTube happy, which bumps up these videos, and I would really appreciate that. Dancing Tunes asks, where did I get my booster seat? Okay, I will leave I'll update the description with the AK Racing. I actually got it from a different website, which they no longer have them on sale. But I will real quick find the Amazon link that they actually had them. It was pretty damn cheap. So I will put that on there for you. This is the AK515. But again, I will put the Amazon link on the description so you guys can download, buy it from there. And even if you decide I'm not going to buy it right now, I'll buy it later, go ahead and click on those Amazon links, because hey, that makes Amazon like me with money too. And I like it when people like me with money. That sounds kind of dirty, but other than that, I think that answers all the questions. I'm just going to write in AK Racing seat. And if you guys are watching that, just refresh it and you should see the description in there. So, guys, have a great evening. Thank you all so much. I will see you tonight. God bless.